Hey, Richard Matthews of Matthews Wealth Management. Today we're going to be talking about compounding interest, which is a very fundamental piece of financial planning. It's kind of a foundation anytime we're doing projections, looking at growth over time, looking at retirement planning, college planning, paying down a mortgage, any other debts. So how money grows or shrinks over time is incredibly important for just the fundamentals of financial planning. So Albert Einstein actually is quoted as saying that compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. So what we're going to do is jump into 3 examples and kind of illustrate how compounding interest works and why it's so important for financial planning. So the first thing that I'm going to cover here is, you've heard this probably in other videos, but the 7.2% rate of return. And I use that specifically for a reason, but I'm going to write up here on the board how that works over time in a 10-year hypothetical, and then we'll be able to do a couple other illustrations. So if we're starting in this example with $1,000 and we're going to earn 7.2% each year going forward, the end of year 1, that's very simple math right there. Remember moving the decimal point over. On $1,000, if we're going to earn 7.2% at the end of that first year, we're at $1,072, right? That's easy math. So once we start compounding and applying this interest rate to the new dollar amount at the end of each year going forward, let's see how that changes and what it looks like after 10 years. So you can see here, after that 10-year time frame, our $1,000 grew to just over $2,000. So that's why when I'm doing a hypothetical illustration of a rate of return, 7.2 is kind of a magical number, if you will, to double your money after 10 years. There's actually more decimal points to it, but there's a quick rule of thumb. We call it the rule of 72. So if you can divide your rate of return into 72, the amount that's left over, or the times it takes to get into 72, equals the years it would take the initial investment to double. So that's why I use the 7.2. It's very simple. To the 10 years, off by about $4. But we're going to come back and go through 2 more examples of compounding interest and how that affects us in financial planning. We'll be right back. All right, part 2 of compounding interest. We're going to talk a little bit about a choice that you present to some clients, and it's always interesting to hear. Everybody says the same thing, but we're going to walk through compounding interest between the option to take $1 million today or a penny today that will double over the next 30 days. Okay, so initially you'd say $1 million, no brainer. You know I'm up to something, so now you're questioning, what does this penny actually do? What we're going to do is go through how that penny doubles, 100% rate of return, over 30 iterations to see exactly what the difference is going to be between the upfront $1 million and the delayed gratification. So first thing, it's very simple to say a penny, 2 cents, 4 cents, 8 cents, 16 cents. You see where this is going, but I'm going to go ahead and start writing these up here, and we'll come back and talk when it gets interesting. Okay, so here we are. We're at day 25, and our penny has grown 16, $5, 163, 5,000. It's picking up a big head of steam here. So when we're looking at 167,000 on day 25, you probably see where this is going. So we're going to come over here to 26, and we've got 335,000, 544. And 32 cents. Day 27, 671,088, 64. 28. Here we go. What was our other option? We had $1 million that we could have taken on day 1 that most of us probably would have. And now we're going to double that 671 So day 28, we figure out it was the wrong decision. $1,342,177.28. Let's keep doubling. The 29th day, $2,684,354.56. And finally, our last number is going to be $5,368,709.12. So 5.3 times as much money to take just that penny that's going to double 30 times. So that kind of leads us into our last illustration, just to show how things can compound very, very quickly with good rates of return. So we're going to be back and talk about two different people saving for retirement. All right, last part of compounding interest, we're going to talk about a scenario between two different individuals and how they handle things differently when it comes to saving long term. So here we have Richard. Richard is going to be our irresponsible kind of procrastinator when it comes to saving and putting back. And then over here, Britt, she's our responsible party. So we're going to use an assumption here just across the board of an 8% rate of return. And let's start with Britt and how she navigates her retirement savings. At age 25, she's going to start putting back the maximum amount that she can annually into a Roth IRA or traditional IRA. We're just going to not count the taxation portion of this yet, but just talk about raw numbers. So what we've got here at age 25, she's going to contribute the maximum of $6,000, right? So that $6,000 she's going to contribute every single year, and then the balance every single year is going to earn 8%, okay? So I'm going to fast forward from 25 to 30, 35, 40, just to kind of speed this up. So at age 30, she's accumulated $44,015.67, okay? And that shows a little bit of compounding interest, but also compounding savings on top of that. By age 35, we're at $99,872.92. So almost at 100 grand just in 10 years, putting back that $6,000 plus the 8%. And then at age 40, she's grown that up to $181,945.70. So we're going to change things up now. Now that Britt has reached age 40, she's going to stop contributing. She's got a different kind of priority in life, let's say at this point. And so if we add up all those $6,000 contributions over that 15-year mark, she's contributed a total of $90,000 and now has a balance to show for it of $181,945, which is great. That's a very good start to retirement. So from here on out, no more contributions, but she's going to continue to earn growth on top of her savings. Let's now move over to what Richard's done. He had a different priority in life, wanted to wait until he was settled in and was making enough money to really be able to start putting back and saving. It's a very common behavioral mentality that people have, but let's say he wakes up age 40 and says, I need to retire, I need to start putting back. And now he's going to run the exact same scenario that Britt ran 15 years earlier. So obviously at age 40, we're going to repeat these numbers here. We have the 6,000, then we go to the 44,015.67. By age 50, he's now up to the 99,872.92. And then 55 is the same as what Britt had at 40, 181,945.70. So everything is apples to apples here currently, just with the delay, right? The 15-year delay. So in this example, let's finish out what Richard's retirement looks like by the time he reaches 65, because he realizes that he's a little bit behind. He can't afford to stop contributing the way that Britt did. He's going to keep contributing the $6,000 a year for the next 10 years and then earn the interest, the same 8%. So by age 60, now he has $302,537 and 53 cents. And then the final number here at age 65, $479,726 and 49 cents. All right, so one thing that we want to do to just add this up and compare, remember Britt contributed a total of $90,000, and then Richard, if we add all of his up, he's contributed $150,000. Looked like a 6. So 150,000 equals about 480. This 90 looks at about 181, but we've still got another 25 years of just growth to add into Britt's. So I'm going to throw those numbers up here real quick. At age 45, 267, 337, 92. And then age 50, we go to 392, 807, 12, 55, we go to 577, 162, 52, and we're seeing the issue. We've already passed what Richard ended up with here at age 55. At 60, Britt has 848,041 and 10 cents. And then finally at age 65, we've eclipsed the million mark, 1,246,000 and $50 and 60 cents. So we have 480,000 versus $1.2 million. That's over $750,000 difference between the two, and you can see the difference in contribution. So time either works for you in this example, starting early and then letting compounding interest take over, or it works against you, where there's just no way you're going to be able to make up the difference without having to take much higher risk on the portfolio investments, or have much higher contributions out of your paycheck, which frankly just doesn't seem to happen over time. So, you know, putting back a little bit earlier is definitely the right way to go. Hopefully this overall video of compounding interest has been helpful. There's a lot to be said about starting early, earning a good rate of return, and then if you start early enough, you can even stop contributing and live life before retirement. So if you got any questions, want to follow up on this, feel free to get in touch, but we'll see you next time.